Lawyers are expecting Young Thug's release after it was announced. The judge went off on Prosecutor Love, saying, "It is baffling to me that somebody with the number of years of experience that you have, time after time after time, continues to seemingly purposely hide the ball for as long as you possibly can. And I really don't want to believe that it is that purposeful, unless it is that you are so unorganized that you are throwing the case together as you try it." Judge then had to leave the bench and take some deep breaths.
I mean, I can't figure out what it is. If it's disingenuous, if it is that, I mean, I don't want to, the prosecutor standing in front of me right now, so I'm not going to say the possible things that it could be, but it is baffling to me that somebody with the number of years of experience that you have, time after time after time, continues to seemingly purposefully hide the ball to the extent you possibly can for as long as you possibly can. And I really don't want to believe that it is purposeful, but honestly, after a certain number of times, you start to wonder how it could be anything but that, unless it is just that you are so unorganized that you are throwing this case together as you try it.
As the judge is finally calling out Prosecutor Love for not understanding her job. Her job is to display evidence against Young Thug and bring witnesses to the stand to confirm it to the jury. That is simple, but the judge would then confirm that the jury is just lost on any evidence that she has happened to share thus far.
A, if it can't be deciphered, then I don't think we need to hear it 3 times. It's indecipherable. But B, Ms. Love just asked Investigator Gaither and she said she understood it. It was clear. So I don't know why we're rehashing it.
It's not really whether Miss Sergeant Gaither can understand it or not. I mean, the evidence is being presented so that the jury can absorb it. And I don't know whether the jury can understand what's being said on it or not. Can y'all understand what's being said? Some of them can, some of them can't.
As the judge has been more angry than usual in the last few days, reports are going out sharing that the YSL RICO trial is getting investigated by state officials for possible case corruption. As it would be announced, watch the judge open her mouth here. Is she signaling DA Love to make an objection? Then she leads Love and to keep going until she gets the objection right. What exactly is going on in Fulton County, and is this what our system has come to?
Do you appreciate that sitting here today, your lies have caused Yak tremendous amounts of problems?
Objection, improper. Vague, speculation, relevance.
Sustained.
As there has been conspiracy theories that this new judge has only been placed into the YSL RICO trial to help out the prosecutors, as currently this is the 3rd judge that has been in the YSL trial, as what would happen next was even more concerning. As the tweet shares, so it's okay for Adrian Love to show images to the jury underhandedly. As you can see, the judge is looking at Prosecutor Love, holding up a piece of paper of evidence, showing it to the jury for a few seconds, and also even holding it still, clear as day, showing them the evidence that was later denied to even be shown to the jury, even though they already saw it illegally. As Thug's lawyers would then finally have enough, Miss Love would object to one of Young Thug's lawyers, and this is where the entire courtroom went sour.
Objection.
Do you view that as a benefit?
Hang on.
Okay, I'm asking him if he views
I
that
know,
as
and
a
there's an
benefit.
objection on the floor, which I haven't been able to hear yet, so wait and let me hear
My
it.
apologies, Your Honor.
So objection as to misrepresentation, vagueness, when the question is, do you think it's a benefit to you?
But the funniest of it all was even when the judge got annoyed moments later of helping Prosecutor Love. When Love would try objecting again for the 30th time within an hour, the judge just finally had enough, told her to stop talking, and walked away.
But, Ms. Love, your objection was sustained, so that's really all there is to it.
Your Honor, I think the main thing to it is that Mr. Sharp he talked.
Miss Love, I'm going to take a bathroom break, okay? I haven't had one for the last couple of times that everybody else has.
as higher-ups in the court system will now be investigating the YSL RICO trial soon, resulting in Young Thug release. To understand his release date, you first need to hear how the judge was flip-flopping on a mistrial decision, as this is a clear indicator of case corruption, as at the beginning of the court day, it would be announced, judge denies the motion for mistrial, saying that she doesn't think that there was anything bad, but agrees that the questioning could have been confusing and asks Miss Love to clarify
what the line of questioning was, and so a valid objection, it remains sustained, but the motion for mistrial is denied. I am not giving any kind of instruction. You can just fix it by asking the next question.
As the judge would end up denying the mistrial at the beginning of the day with no hesitation, until realizing that prosecutors don't know what they're doing. This is when the prosecutors then brought Quindarius Zachary to the stand. He would end up opening up his statement by hitting on an attractive investigator, and then even asked her to be the one to supervise him at his hotel tonight.
For you to whichever hotel this is, they end up putting. Can it be what? I don't know whether it's going to be that particular investigator or not. It might be, it might not be. It's not going to be up to me.
As let me remind you, this is a RICO trial, one of the most serious court situation cases that could be held within a courtroom, and everyone is laughing and joking. But what happened next really made the judge think, yeah, this should not be allowed. This is when it was reported, Quindarius Zachary says that he no longer wants his own lawyer because he feels like he is working for them, the state. He said that he doesn't think he needs a lawyer at all, and he'll be back on Monday without one.
You don't want that lawyer anymore. All right, well, let me say this. When you come back on Monday, it may be that you want a lawyer. You don't feel like you need any kind of lawyer whatsoever. So what if things change on Monday? All right.
As this is something that never happens within courtrooms where no one's taking it serious. The judge would finally even have enough, kicking the prosecutor witness off of the stand, telling him to get lost. It would be this moment when Thug's lawyer would then submit another motion for a mistrial, and then she would end up using different words than what she used at the beginning of the day to answer this mistrial submission.
All right, I'm going to look back at what the transcript says. I mean, and Ms. Love, you may, given that there's now a motion for mistrial on the floor, in assertion that you did things purposefully, you may respond to that.
I vehemently object to the mistrial. I vehemently object to any mistrial, and I beg the court to look at the transcript and see what I said right before I asked him the people that I just mentioned. And I would ask that the court, when the court deems it appropriate that such language is gross and all of the disparaging remarks made by counsel for the defendants are appropriate, that's one thing. But I'd ask that the court limit that type of behavior, which is, not becoming of officers of the court.
I agree with that. It is not becoming.
Not even denying it on the spot like she did at the beginning of the day, as it's very clear this entire YSL RICO trial is a joke. However, what truly won the mistrial talks over is when the judge started yelling at the prosecutor moments after. On this particular court day, it was the prosecutor's job to fill up the entire witness stand with witnesses to give up evidence on Young Thug. Well, the only person they were able to find was Quindarius Zachary, meaning the entire court session was basically ruined and the judge had to send everyone home.
One of the things I wanted to inquire of one of our investigators about their efforts to secure one of the witnesses and the difficulty that we have had with respect to that witness. I expect that witness will be coming in. It's the one that we've been discussing, but I think it's pertinent information.
Not right now. And frankly, it doesn't matter if you have a particular witness. What you have been instructed is to have enough witnesses to fill the day. Okay? So if one witness is difficult, then you need to have another one lined up.
Let's get the jury, please.
That's when the official report of breaking news, YSL attorney Max puts Fani Willis's office on notice that if they put Quindaria Zachary back on the stand and he ends up getting sick, it is going to be a mistrial.
It's going to lead to me asking for a mistrial again. And the state is on notice at this point that by calling Mr. Zachary in this state, and I don't know what his state is, but they seem to know, they are on notice that something could happen. And I'm not the one calling him to the stand, but if his direct testimony comes in or his prior statements come in and I don't have a chance to confront him about those lies, we are not going to have a fair trial. And I'm just putting it on the record now so everyone knows what my stance on that is.
However, this is where the trial would get scary. A report would share YSL judge admits the case is headed to mistrial, but yet she won't grant one.
All right, if we don't even know what's being said, then
We
I don't
do know
what
what's being said, Your Honor. It is not.
This is a mistrial waiting to happen.
Your Honor, if I may.
Go ahead.
Judge, we started.
As the judge is even admitting the case should be a mistrial, but yet she refuses to grant it, making the entire court case corrupt.